Now, if you could choose the perfect place to have Christmas, what would it be?
Louise has found the ideal venue for the festive season. It's a lavish country estate where she's feeling very much at home, I have to say. Morning to you, Louise.
Oh, Sian, I so wish. Morning to you both. Thanks very much. Yes, Christmas here at Polesen Lacey, this National Trust house, would have been really something. They would probably have about 20 guests, 40 staff I mentioned to you, but I didn't mention that 40 staff didn't include the maids, the servants from all the visitors as well, and those presents under the tree, Cartier and Fabergé. Imagine that. This house has a fantastic tradition of entertaining. Let's have a look back at its history. During its heyday of the early 1900s, Polesden Lacey was one of the most popular places for the rich and influential to escape to. Guests were invited to enjoy its stunning setting and beautiful views across the Surrey countryside.
We'll gaze at the sky and try.
A property has existed on the site since the 12th century.
Then we will figure out why.
Its most famous owner was the 19th century playwright Richard Sheridan. He bought Polesden in 1804 and spent lavish amounts entertaining his friends and enjoying the role of country squire. A century later, Polesden Lacey became home to the Edwardian Society hostess, Margaret Greville. She employed the architects of the Ritz Hotel to redesign the interior of the house for a visit by King Edward VII, who described her gift for hospitality as positive genius. Other guests to stay here included Sir Winston Churchill, Charlie Chaplin, and the late Queen Mother. She actually spent the first week of her honeymoon at Polesen Lacey in 1923. The house has been owned by the National Trust since 1942 and has inspired a number of well-known films, including Shooting Fish and Gosford Park. Wow, we've been lucky enough to be lent the house for breakfast this morning. Look at this room. It's called the Gold Room. You can see why, Mr. Bowl. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
It's a fantastic room. What was it used for?
Was used for entertaining, and Mrs. Greville liked to entertain.
She did, didn't she?
She had some great parties.
We've got a picture of Mrs. Greville. I want to know a little bit about her on the wall here. Beautiful picture.
It's quite an interesting picture because she had a lot of jewellery, and there's no jewellery in the picture. But of course, when she died, she left all her jewellery to her great friend, the Queen Mother.
Lucky Queen Mother.
Exactly.
Now, you play Mr. Bowl, don't you, the butler, when people come and visit this house. You're a volunteer. What's that like? It's
great fun. Mr. Bowl on high days and holidays at Christmas time and periods like that. Otherwise, I'm an ordinary room steward. But it's great fun. We have a lot of backup from the staff here. They're very good staff, look after us very well.
And it would have been a pretty busy time, Christmas, as well, because they could have had, what, 20 people to stay? How would it work?
Exactly. We've got 18 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms. A very modern house, really, for its time.
Fantastic. We've got a fantastic picture here as well. We've been hearing the Christmas message, a little bit of it, on breakfast this morning. There's a picture of the Queen herself here, isn't there?
That's the Queen as a young baby, and her grandmother, Queen Mary.
Amongst some very illustrious guests that have stayed here as well.
We have had a number of guests, presidents, kings, queens, you name them, they've been here, because Mrs. Greville was a great hostess.
And she left the house, didn't she, to the National Trust, so people could come and visit it?
In memory of her father, to whom she was devoted.
And how many people come here, and what's their sort of reaction when they see it?
Well, normally walk in this room and say, wow.
Like I did.
And it's known as a wow room, because it is a fantastic room, this. And the whole house and the staff here and the volunteers are wonderful.
Mr. Bowl,
I say it myself.
Thank you very much. And we've also got some really special guests here with us this morning on breakfast to help us out with what you want on Christmas Eve, some carols, don't you? They are Polesen Lacey Infant School, Year 2, most of them. Morning to you all.
Good morning.
And please, will you sing a lovely carol for us? Thank you.
isn't that?
Oh, they're
Makes you all
gorgeous.
Christmassy. Later, we're going to hear from Sir Cliff Richard about how to make gravy, aren't we? And
We
put me in
are.
the Christmas.
Right, we heard Sir Cliff Richard's top tips for gravy there. Rob Kirby, just tell us quickly what your advice.
Just cook it, look, reduce it right down, lots and lots of red wine. Fantastic, really.
Okay, the children are loving all of this. What are your favourite, what would you most like to have?
Brownies.
The brownies. Easy to make?
Absolutely easy to make, and children love them. Everybody loves chocolate brownies, really.
Oh, they do. You also can tell us a little bit about drinks on Christmas Day. What sort of things would you go for?
Start the day with Prosecco and cranberry juice, fantastic. Nice glass of fizz, nicely chilled. And then basically, with your main course on the turkey, go for a big, bold red wine. Inky, a Malbec, South American. And then on your pud, you cannot do better than a sweet figgy sherry, a PX, something like that. Fantastic.
Okay, and lighting the pud, what kind of alcohol should you do to...
Brandy, but people would say if you use vodka, it will burn a bit longer, but just be a bit careful.
Quite right, that's why you're good at your job. Thank you. Anthea, you've been really busy and you've actually found some helpers now.
I have. First rule of management at Christmas is delegation.
Fantastic. If you've not wrapped your presents, this is a top tip.
Absolutely. We're doing good old-fashioned, this is why all my little helpers are loving this, potato printing. So we've just got some brown paper, we've used string, and we're being really posh because we've got matching little tags as well. And potato printing is so fantastic.
And you can even do that with
you
a
do that one
newspaper,
next.
couldn't you?
Oh, you could do, yes, absolutely.
And if you really, but you haven't even got presents at this stage, what do you do?
Panic.
No,
Run
don't.
off. No, I think really at this stage, what you don't want to do is you don't want to panic buy and buy silly things.
Right.
So really go for those good standard things that everybody loves, which is plants, it's booze, it's food, and
Chocolate.
maybe put some money in an envelope and think their sales are going to be fabulous in a couple of days' time.
Brilliant. Now we've got the presents,
Yes.
we've got the food, we've had lovely carol singing. Who are we missing?
Santa.
No. Do you think he's here?
Yes.
Do you? Where do you think he is? I don't believe it.
Oh, hello!
Oh, lovely to meet you. I'm Louise.
Hello,
Thanks so much for
Louise.
popping in.
My pleasure.
You must be incredibly busy.
Well, we've been rushed off our feet the last few weeks, but my helpers have got the sleigh packed outside full of presents.
Have you got presents for all of these here?
As long as they've all been good little
Have you
children.
been good?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they were going to leave you something out tonight, you're going to leave something for Santa tonight?
Yeah.
What would you most like?
Well, I would most like a large mince pie. And also, would you leave a little carrot out for Rudolph, too?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I know you're busy, but thank you very much for coming to see us. Thank you, Anthea. Thank you, Rob. And most of all, thank you as well to all the staff here at Polesen Lacey. If this is the first time, I can assure you that they've sat down all morning. Thank you very much for letting us have the run of the house. It's been fantastic to be here on breakfast. And thank you all. Happy Christmas to Bill and Sean. Happy Christmas to everyone. And from us, goodbye. Bye.
Merry Christmas!
And happy Christmas to you, Louise,
Christmas,
as well.
yes,
Thank you
indeed.
very
We've
much.
been joined by the gentlemen of the Salvation Army. Good morning, chaps. Good morning, tuning up, ready to go.